Mindfully with Timshi, the podcast is back. And I had said when we started these conversations with Femi Jubal on positive masculinity that I wanted to catch a lot of stories around men. And, you and I know that masculinity, in fact, every gender question is shrouded in all forms of shades from black, white, gray, and like a woman's color spectrum is a lot. So, I'm a woman with pride. I say it to my full chest, but I do not know so much about how the man thinks, what makes them think, and all of that. So, I'm having a series. I'm leading a series where we have men come have conversations with us, and probably it will help us as women, as humans, not even as men, women. I hate the gender thing, but to understand ourselves and to be able to help ourselves be better people. In the house today, I have Mr. Emmagination is. I'm going to let you do the introduction because if I start now, he's a life coach, is a biker, he's a brand strategist, is a publisher, is the chief executive of a boys' hostel with a woman. What's up, Emma?
Nice to be here. By definition, I'm a man.
What else then?
I'm an ideas person. I try to put everything I do in silos, and it gives me headache sometimes. You wake up this morning, society defines you as this person. You need to fit into that mold to be able to access certain values and value. Otherwise, I'm an ideas person. I wake up and I do what I do, make my money and I go. But most people will say, I'm into clothing, I'm into publishing, I'm into consulting, I'm into training. That's what I do for the money and for the passion.
For the passion.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into this conversation, there is some housekeeping that I do. I've not done it in about 3 or 4 episodes, but why not? How are you? You cannot say I'm okay. You can't say I'm fine. You cannot say I'm not okay. If you say you're not okay, we're going to explore that.
If I say I'm okay,
you can't not say I'm okay.
Because it's not possible to be okay. No, I want to find out.
No, so the reason I don't allow people to say I'm okay is because that's the generic answer to how are you.
Okay.
Fine.
I have a perfect answer.
Okay.
I'm trying to be okay.
And that's okay. To be okay. And that's okay. So what's going on, if you care to share, that is?
In my life personally?
Whatever it is.
I don't know. What's been hitting my mind lately? Maybe not the kind of conversation people do like to have, or maybe husbands would like to have. But I've just, when you want to, if I say you want to skip and go back to single life for about
a minute,
2 weeks, it will look like you're not enjoying your marriage, but you are. But right now, I just feel like taking a break from everything.
Being married, from being a father, a husband,
from work. Let me tell you what I mean. I feel like taking on a new identity, going to somewhere like Kano, right? Okay. To be a houseboy for somebody. You don't know me? Hello, this is his name is Tunde or Tunji or not Emmanuel. Okay. I'm looking for a job, house cleaner. Can you clean? Yes, I can. Okay, start work. I wake up in the morning, clean. Just something different so that I'll be somewhat sane. I think this tangent of continuing one particular, and then of course I'm not married, remember. I don't know what the status will be with my wife, but if she's in on it, just allow me. Then when I show up as your husband. I think that 2 weeks or 1 month of being a houseboy, someone will do so. That's me. Will do something to my brain. But I just want to take a break from. The alternative is to sleep for 7 days non-stop and wake up on the 8th day and just continue. Just something totally different. So yeah, I'm trying to be okay.
Is that around going back to what you said at the beginning of this conversation, the box of responsibility that a man has to fit in? Is that around it? Is the feeling around it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's societal expectations. First when you talk about a man, you're talking about masculinity, manliness, manhood, as it were. And the society's... there's so much to being a man in a society like this. It's so huge. Too many expectations. And sometimes you just want society to just cut you some slack. So you just go somewhere and explore other genders. Yeah, explore what it feels like. And that's why I like social experiments. Social experiments. Be a man for a day, if possible. I mean, makeup and all those stuff, and you go and see what it feels like. Just to feel what someone else feel. Particularly in the climes like Nigeria, where there's so much on your mind, so much expectation, both economical, social, even religion-wise. There's something that's expected of you, this rule in church, this rule in the mosque. And you just want to say, God, see, I feel like I be church on my own. I want to attend I want to serve myself. I want to attend my own personal service for 1 year. And when I wake up, the revelations will help me serve the society better. Basically. I'm enjoying my popcorn.
Yeah, he's this is the first guest you're having not taking tea or coffee. He's having just water and popcorn, caramel popcorn. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything can happen here. So what you just said now is giving some Bruce Almighty feeling. It feels like, okay, if I were the Almighty for a moment, I would. So, if you ask me that question, because you can actually ask me that question, how am I?
Okay, how are you?
Presently, I am nothing. Like, I'm totally, for an ideas person also, as I am, working, and I try to compartmentalize life and everything. But for now, in this season, I'm just nothing. I don't want to escape anything, yet I want to escape everything. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy who I am as Oluwatumishi. I enjoy who I am as a mother, to be sincere. And that was one of my greatest fears in life, that I would not be a good mother.
Okay.
It was because I really want that. I said to myself, if I ever get to bring children to this world, they will not experience life the way I did. And I also wanted them to have a balanced view of life. And if I have to give myself a scorecard, I think I'm 70% okay now.
Who's doing the feedback?
The children.
Okay, very important.
The children is the children, and that gives me. So I enjoy that, but it's just like this year I've not painted at all.
Wow.
And I've colored a bit. I've colored in, and I missed the serenity that comes with painting. That experience that you want in Kano, I get it when I'm doing my painting numbers.
No, that's good.
That experience that you want to I get it when I'm coloring. When I'm doing something creative. I can't write fiction to save my life, but you
can speak fiction. You can talk fiction.
I think
for someone to write.
For someone to write it, I think. That me. I told you it's possible. That me. I told you it's possible for me to just speak it and somebody else to write it. So yes, I'm just nothing right now, and yeah.
I get.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, but we have to live in it. We're in the world. We have to live.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start our conversation. Of course, 20th of November was International Men's Day, and I left messages in two groups: my secondary school group and my university group, and said to all the guys here, "We love you," and all that. one person, okay, some people said thank you. Oh, he said, yes, we have one. And I'm like, yeah, the whole of November even is for men's mental health. And it was surprising to me that even men didn't know that the whole of November, I think in the UK, there is a mustache. All the men grow mustache for mental health in the whole of November, and then we have the International Day for the Boy Child. Yes, we do have that. So and that day I'm like, okay, so, and of course the theme is there is suicide. So our conversation today is going to be around all of that. And I'm wondering, okay, so fine, it's not heralded with the same pomp and pageantry of all the women things that happened, but the responses I got from these friends of mine, because we've been friends, these people from secondary school and then, like I said, university. Mind you, I wish them the same International Men's Day last year, but there was that gap. Like, so, is it the society, or is it that men just don't just think it's a superficial to have that kind of a thing?
I think it's a society. It's also cultural. It's also an interpretation of the historical. Coming back from, when you talk about a man not supposed to show emotions. Stone Age, hunter, just kill. The woman takes care of the soft side. The hard skills, the man. The woman takes care of the soft side. And then there's an evolution. We found ourselves here. So even things like, I don't know. I try not to generalize. If you say women, they'll be like, okay, don't speak to all the women. Yeah. But I think there's something, maybe it's also expectations that women expect to be serenaded. Women expect that greeting. They expect that society. And for a man, it doesn't mean it's just one of those things. It doesn't. Same way a man will wake up. So bad. You'd wake up on your birthday. It's your birthday. Someone says happy birthday. And then you say, I've even forgotten this is my birthday. Just to show.
Oh, no, it doesn't happen to my
house. No. It's my birthday. I didn't even realize. I've been too busy. Come on. Your birthday. It's your birthday. So we've grown that way. And then instead of women folk to help us change that narrative, and this once or twice in a year that we have Men's International Day, start singing about it like 3 weeks before now or 10 weeks before now. Everyone just keeps quiet. That particular day, I was on social media. I had to post what's happening. You women have International Women's Day, Local Women's Day, Church Women's Day, Eat and Greet Women's Day, and then we just have one. Nobody's saying anything. And I noticed just after I made that post, a lot of friends that were just posting, but someone has to start something and say something that we are men and we have a feminine side. Yeah. And that's what I was telling a friend. I said, see, there are two people living inside of me. That's my own way. There's Emmanuel, there's Emanuela. By social construct, Emmanuel is the aggressive, Emmanuel is the go-getter. By social construct, Emanuela is the laid back, easygoing, caring. So someone should touch the Emanuela in the men.
Yeah.
We need that.
I like that. Okay, so this birthday thing, yeah. Let me tell you a story.
Yep.
But let me tell you a story. When we got married in December. So 2 weeks after his own birthday, and then my birthday was 2 weeks after our wedding. My first birthday as a married woman, I woke up and he laid his hands on me. He prayed. I was like, okay. And all that. We went to work. No call during the day. Nothing. No SMS. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then he gets back from work. Guy, it's my birthday. I'm not cooking. Oh no, I'm not cooking. It's my birthday. Now, someone will say, it's because they spoiled you in your father's house. Hell no. Nobody, when I was younger, yes, maybe. But from like the age of 10, because I had 3 birthdays, I put
3
it-
birthdays.
Yes,
How
I
that
put it on
happen?
social. I posted on
A
social.
month, right?
I think so.
Okay.
So 3. I have 3. I was born January 10. But because I had some form, according to my parents, some form of fast education,
Okay.
I finished primary school in 1988, I think. But I was at 1988, I was 9 or 8, and command would not, command would not take any small picking, So the next year, 1989, they had to give me one. So they gave me one birth date, 1977, when I was getting to primary school, and then they gave me another one when I was getting into secondary school.
Okay.
So by the time I turned 10, and then life then happened. But I always appreciate my birthday, because for me, I know there's some part of denominations who don't, and they have their reasons, that's fine. But for me, it's a day to be grateful that God, the universe, the supreme being, decided to gift me to the world. So, and it's your birthday. I say, in this house, sir, our own culture in this house, every birthday is celebrated. I don't care. Funny enough, I don't care about the Mother's Day. I don't care about the the first thing my husband did, Happy Mother's Day. I'm like, if I don't have I don't have children, call Happy International Women's Day. Those kind of things really they don't excite me. Flowers don't excite me. Again, society constructs. Flowers don't excite me. Get me a good gadget. I'm fine.
Okay.
But flowers don't excite me, you know that. So how do we then? I'm asking, as because women are always going like, we don't understand men, we don't know what mean. So if, for the sake of this conversation, generalize for the sake of the
Okay.
for the sake of this conversation, if we ought to work towards understanding the psyche of man, what should we be doing?
What should we be doing? Remember International Men's Day.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That question looks very specific, and it'll be interesting to do A, B, C, D. But the truth is, even we men, sometimes we don't understand ourselves. Because first of all, I think there's a logic part to a man. That one is somewhat, generally speaking, understandable. The emotional side is the part we're trying to come to terms with. And if society defines it, or the age and era we live in defines it, then sometimes you can't actually put your hand to what exactly it is. By that I mean, if society says as a man, I ought to be aggressive, right? So at the back of my head, I'm aggressive. Then maybe I go on social media and I click something, and then I see an influencer, a male influencer, give me his version of what aggressiveness should look like. In other words, you need to beat your woman once in a while. So I take on that based on the fact that I've had some little thinking to it, but it's giving me reasons. Then maybe I should just do that. So I think we shape shift in our thinking from time to time. That's why it's going to be difficult to generalize. This idea that a man is logical and women are emotional, that thing has caused so much problems. We are very emotional. We are so emotional that society has helped us reshape that emotion into logic. So it's lost as a being. That part of us is dying, or for some people totally dead. So it's what culture, society now tells us to say who we are. That's what we tell you who we are, and you want to respond to that. As a person, not generalizing now, I love my emotions to be responded to because it's a core part of me. Interestingly, I've not allowed it die over time. I've deliberately not allowed it to die. And one of the things that has helped me as a person, I've played different roles. Started out, by the way, I wanted to start out as a tailor. Yes. The only reason why I didn't go that route was I'd spent 4 years about that in school, and I got a job as a consultant. To become a tailor, I'd have to go learn from somebody and probably pay the person. That means I can't earn. Got into the consulting industry. I just got tired at some point. I just want to be myself. I don't like wearing ties. I don't like wearing suits. It's like, those ties like corporate suicide. Like you're about to kill yourself. And then I woke up one morning and hey, clothing comes in. The ability to think that you can be whoever you want to be, whenever you want to be. That's been a plus. So I think for a lady to be able to know how we think, what we want, start with the people closest to you and ask them. Talk to somebody. When I mean talk to the emotional man.
Oh yeah.
Get to that man. And then when he expresses himself, then you begin to find out what we want. But to say, what do men really want? You start hearing traditional word like, we want respect. Even the person talking about respect does not respect himself. Where do you start from? And then you start saying, what's the definition of respect? We'll say, okay, ask the person what definition of respect is. You need to kneel down. I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I will respect myself. I want to be loved. Love for me is respect. That's just me. That's just me thinking loud. So start with the person closest to you. Ask questions. You're at work. Leave typical husband, partner. You're talking with a colleague. Ask him questions no one has ever asked. What do you want as a man? What do you really want? Are you happy? Like you said, how are you? How are you is so generic. Hello, Timisha, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
Why are you looking at me? Timisha, are you happy?
Maybe not. And then the conversation begins to grow.
Because you've come from a different angle, not your regular angle. And then you start talking. See, all this idea that men don't cry, it's because you've not hit the chord that makes men cry. I had a friend come over outside the country, came on holiday, and I and my wife went to go see them. I didn't plan to cry. In fact, the last time I cried, I've expressed my emotion in several ways, but last time I cried must have been trying to think, maybe 7 years ago, and I'm trying to think what made me cry. But we got talking with this friend, sat down on the floor, we gisting about everything. I'm free to talk to the person, and then we started talking about the past, and I had to go back to the time when I had to be the man of the house, and the story for me was, I still recall that night I was at home. You know what it feels like to be called a man and there's no food in the house? No food in the house. And you have a young wife, you're supposed to provide for her and all this kind of stuff. So that night, what brought about my tears? That's what I'm going to say now. So that night, we're still living somewhere like that. We'd finished the last. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
The place that you have to.
I get you.
So that night we took the last plates of rice, and by last plates of rice, it's not green. It's oily green, right? Palm oil rice, that kind of stuff, and then when I mean last supper, last meal, and just before we're about to go to bed. Just tried to just pray. No, we went praising. No apologies to whoever. That's me. When you come on your own podcast, you can see how you do yours. So we decided to pray, and prayer turns to praise, as in excited about where the excitement came from.
You have no idea.
Yes, this about maybe to 11 or thereabout. Okay. So we're about to go into the house, and then we hear a knock. Okay. Knock, knock. So I'm asking my wife, are you expecting somebody? She's asking me, you expect somebody? No. And then this person steps in with a bag of rice.
Oh no.
Palm oil. Plantain. Just all those things that
you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, so the praise couldn't stop. We had to come back and continue the praise. You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, we're talking about the times when we had nothing, right? And how God came through. I was just supposed to just say the story, but emotions rushed in, and I just started crying. And this, because no one planned for me to cry. We didn't have tissues around, There's no box of tissue. Say tap, 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 tap. I had to. The masculine me kicked in. I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. Everything's okay and all this stuff. Then when we're done, I told my wife, did I mess up? Wow. I just because was I supposed to do that? Wow. And then my wife said, what's wrong? You expressed how you felt. If she had said, or I can't say, or I know.
That would have just.
But it felt good. It felt very good. I felt cool. Like the ACs in my eyes were serviced and all those kind of stuff. Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to crying soon, but I did that, and I can look back and say, yeah, I cried this month, and I'm happy I did. That's a man.
It's really concerning, and I though I've not taken time to, look through why the UN said this year should be zero suicide, but I do know from past statistics that we have more men committing suicide, the big S. That's the only time I'm going to use that word. I'll call it big S. Going forward, the reason being that I don't know who is listening, and we don't want to trigger anyone, so we're being careful. More men do the big S than women, and why just again, not generalizing, but there's no how not generalize in this case. If the statistics say that more men are more susceptible to committing the big S than
I don't know what if to say that women are more if you use the word internally expressive. That sounds like, because when you express something, it's supposed to be on the outer. And then you have the inner thing. Maybe an outward expression of inner emotions. I think it's so tied to women, and women are comfortable expressing themselves to larger extents. Very large extent, because it's expected. If you go on the street, I don't want to talk about tears now. If you go on the street and a woman is crying, it's normal for a woman to cry. If a man is crying, everyone will gather. Why is this man crying? Society, a society that says to a man that it's not masculine or not manly to seek for help, it's a society that has contributed to a man one step towards his suicide date. It's not exhaust all the options as a man before you seek help. What kind of
options that
where are we starting from?
Where are we starting
exhaust from? It? No. At the point that I need help, at the point that I need help, I should seek for help. I don't have to exhaust the option, right? Don't show weakness. So I'm sick. I have maybe malaria or stuff. I'm supposed to. I'm feeling weak. I can't stand up. I can't do anything. And I wear a cloth, and then I step out and be a man. Men don't. A woman feels malaria. She's going to treat. A man feels malaria, and he's going the whole year. He's not even put himself to bed because he'll be thought to be weak. It's just a matter of time. When you talk suicide, people talk about the moment suicide is committed. But as far as I'm concerned, suicide is committed installmentally.
I know this for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Suicide is. I know this for sure. There are several deposits before the final cash-in for suicide. So if you ask, they say, okay, she committed suicide. Someone say, she must have gone through a lot. The man committed suicide. What kind of a man is that? That's on one side. The same man is allowed to commit suicide the Japanese way, if his honor is seared but then he cannot commit suicide because It's not a manly thing to do. You're supposed to stand up to the forces against you. And then this force you're talking about, the only spiritual forces. Are you interestingly, when you talk about the spiritual force aspect, the spiritual, go to the average prayer meeting. How many men do you see there?
Now, woman, you see.
That woman has, you see, it's part of ranging her emotions. Whether she's praying loud or praying softly, but she acknowledges there's a problem and she's working towards it. A man knows there's a problem and he says to himself, that's not really a problem. He probably wants to go over it on a bottle of maybe beer and all those for people to bear the burdens with him, But at the end of it, you're asking yourself, well, I don't think it would. If things remain this way, I don't think it will change. You still have more men committing suicide. Maybe as a honorable way or as a way to finally say, you know what, I'd rather die than share what I'm going through with people. I want to live. If something do me, I'm going to I'm going to tell my wife. If she's not, I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to my family WhatsApp group. I'm sharing what I'm going through, and it will make me.
Emmanuel, oh my. Okay, so let's look at. You said something about historical, earlier, and you mentioning the Japanese way now takes me back to some part of our culture. I don't know. Your Efik or Ibibio?
Ibibio, yeah.
Ibibio. I don't know about the Ibibio culture, but I know that there's some part in Yoruba culture where, you do this honor thing, and somehow us talking about it now might just be the reason why we have the silent culture, this especially from men. There's silent culture in everything that we do in this part of the world, but with this silent culture, and though the narrative is changing, just like you said, it's shape-shifting, but I think that's where it is from, that it's better for a man to take his life than for him to share himself. How antithetical, oxymoronic is that? How? How? And trust me, we have such adages in Yoruba that says that it's not all your clothes you dry in the sun. Dry them. Look for your own sun. Okay, of course, it's not the sun that rises in Abakaliki that is rising in Lagos.
Sure.
So look for your own sun, look for your tribe, and dry and air your laundry.
I like that tribe. I like that tribe. Exactly. I like it. I like that tribe thing. So I'm trying to see, should I share this or not? I'm trying to think. Okay, let's. No. I'm trying to get a backstory to it. But let me put it this way. So, what are the emotions expected of a man? If you're angry, that's being manly. If you're jealous, that's a man thing. That's a man. It's expected. He has to guard his territory, right? Lust, that's manly. Happiness. Even with happiness, you're not supposed to show excitement, but don't show excitement like a lady. Is anything like feminine excitement? Excitement is excitement. You have to curtail yourself. Don't jump too high. Don't shout too much. And then, of course, the feminine expression is, if you're sad, that's a female thing. Fear, female thing. Shame, female thing. Kindness, female thing. Tenderness, female thing. So you don't want to show all this kind of stuff. At the end of it all, I think you've said it. I don't know what people's definition of honor is. I don't know what people's definition of honor is.
Or dishonor.
Of what your son is, but within your tribe, that you can be yourself and express yourself and say one and just let things off your head and not keep things throughout the week, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, and you can't say something and go like, because something has gone off your chest. Suicide rates, gender suicide may not change again for a long while until we begin to revisit this thing. Allow men speak. Not even allow men speak. Don't ask for permission. Yes, because allow men speak.
Yeah.
Yes, say how it feels. When you start, you're going to. When you start that, you're going to kick ball a new narrative where men begin to say, okay, it's okay for
me to talk.
Yeah, to talk, and not be seen as a girl.
As a simp.
Yes.
That's what they say these days.
Exactly. And then all this guy code stuff, and I mean, someone is listening out there say, this guy is codey. I mean, this guy, okay, maybe it's because he's talking to a lady. It was a guy to guy. There's something called any code that does not make me happy, I'm not interested.
I'm not interested in the code.
Keep the code. Keep the code. Yeah.
All right. So I want to take this conversation to because I know you have all boys.
Yeah. Boys hostel.
Yes, I know you have all boys.
Sorry, if you hear something crunchy, I'm popcorning.
It's popcorning.
So that's the
permit the popcorn.
Okay.
And the crickles coming from the table, but we're fine, all the same. Anyways, I know you have all boys, and if again, I'm going to be Yoruba and say another adage. If those of us who are in our mid-40s, going on 50s, are fishes, dried fishes that cannot be manipulated, you're a dried fish. You just bring like this.
Yeah, one gone.
So, how do we then propagate the essence of positive masculinity? Because that's what they call it now. We have to use, it's so annoying that we have to now use positive masculinity.
Exactly.
It's personally, it's annoying to me. Like, okay, we have to now use an adjective
to describe,
to qualify what masculinity.
Even the masculinity is societal expectations, But to make it positive, that means there's negative. I mean,
like, you understand. So, what can we begin to do?
It's interesting. What I'm about to say, you must have heard it. That means some positive things have started going on. When people say we have to start, not just talk to the female, girls, start talking to the male. It's good. The fact that someone has acknowledged the fact that we need to start, start talking is different from talking. But the fact that someone even said, let's start talking, it means we've set some kind of ball in motion. I'm not going to generalize. I'll say what I'm doing. Okay. And I'll start with a little story. So one of those days I had traveled. I used to do a lot of traveling. I mean, like crazy traveling. In fact, it was so bad. I'm talking about trainings, traveling to go and train. It was so bad that my wife would not decongest my bag when I come back. She would just something to just remain there because she knows one phone call will come and I'm off.
Okay.
So one of those days I traveled, and when I came back, my wife said, I need to speak with you. And the only reason why I didn't speak with you before now is because I didn't want to distort you, whatever you're doing, so it doesn't affect your work. We go into the room. I'm thinking maybe she wants to tell me she loves me, she's crazy about me, and that kind of stuff.
Emmanuel, a woman says she wants to talk to you, and you're thinking it's love.
And so she says something. She said, what I'm about to share with you, the boys must not know. Okay, I'm saying it loud now because what I'm about to share with you now, the boys must not have an inkling that I've shared it with you. Because if they do, they may not be able to share things with me again. So I caught that. And she said, you just have to change your approach to the way you deal with the boys. Your son said, when I said Daddy's coming back, your son said, I wish you'd never come back.
Whoa.
Yeah. I wish you'd never come back. That hit me. Here I am. Well, there I was.
Hey, I'm the best dad in the world.
Yes, thinking I just want to rush back home, get excited and meet my children. And then the people I want to come see are saying they wish I don't come back. That's like saying I wish you were dead. What's the problem? And then the guy goes, they say so many things, and that was a point I had to do a lot of self-reflecting. I'm like, what's really the problem? And the first thing I realized that I've been under so much pressure. So much pressure. Another thing I realized that pressure, part is corporate, trying to make so much money, and okay, so I'm part angry I'm part troubled because I'm all the travels I'm doing and I'm trying to make money to make you guys feel comfortable. And here you don't want me to come back. That means I have to review whatever it is that I'm doing. And so I set out to be a better dad. The positive side is at the end of that year, I think I was sharing one time, with I were just about it. And then my son said, about 6 months plus a day. So he said, my dad is my role model. I love my dad and all those stuff. Those emotions coming from boys, Tumiche, has to be validated.
Yep.
Otherwise, he's going to keep it to himself and deaden it because society does not expect a man to use the words like I love, I adore. He can't use I like. It's not part of a man. But again, we sometimes forget. So that period goes past and I totally forget that. And then my son becomes by the way, we have gist to gist.
Okay.
everything is sorted.
Yeah.
My son, I shared it with you, Michelle. That's why I'm saying it. My second son becomes aggressive, nonchalant. Sometimes use swear words. Not the tough swear, but words that should not emanate from a child.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, okay, so this is the teen they talk about, because sometimes we label it teen, teen tantrums and whatever and all those stuff. So I call a child psychologist, which is what we should also start doing to help a child decipher what emotions are, what you're supposed to, feel what you're supposed to feel. And then she goes through back forths with him and all those stuff. And then when he's done, teaches him how to label his emotions, keep a diary, write all those things. Positive formations and all those stuff. And then we're thinking it's this problem, only for him to turn to us and say, I need to talk to you. And what's the problem? I've realized a lot of stuff that you're not doing that's a trigger
to
that boy. So it turns out that on a fair scale, maybe 80%, 7 to 80% is our fault as parents. And I'll just give you one example. Children have their love languages. People say, leave this love language bullshit, but I'd like to, give us your version, give us something to work with. I'm working with something I see that makes sense to me. And I realize one of these boys' love language is touch. When he comes back from school, he wants to hug you first. Wherever he just wants to be around, he wants to hold you. And just like, I don't know, I teach love languages. But it's a try to teach us. Sometimes you teach and what you're supposed to know is just passing right under your nose.
Under your nose, and you don't know.
So over time, I've told him, this thing is, stop all these things. Stop hugging and all this. Man up. And so his understanding of love
was to man up and
be
aggressive and be out there. And
So he started building this behavior, minor behavior, and it's not him. And so she goes, okay, so this is what you need to do. Because it's been a long time I hugged that boy, like a very long time. When I started hugging him, looked very awkward. He wants to hang around you. He wants to sit on your leg. He wants to high five you. He wants to be around you and all those kind of stuff. He wants to. My wife too. If you're listening, sorry, sweetheart, I have to out you too.
She's going to listen.
Yes, because we are so into ourselves that once we get to our room, you're locked out. You don't knock. Who is that? What do you want? Because we just want to be us. We just want to be alone. We've worked so hard and all those stuff. So rule number 1, therapy said, allow them into your space. So once you knock the door now, open. It is scattered just come in, And then this particular boy started getting his hugs, you sit down with him, discuss the things. He's discussing emotions you have validated. So what happened in school today? What are you saying? And then he goes into the whole animation. Relationship has been, this boy, the turnaround is amazing. And when I mean amazing, extremely amazing. He's a cheerleader. So already that's a man, because we say that in every man there's a boy.
Yeah.
Give that guy, particularly when the mental age these days is quite, give him some time.
Yeah.
Is what he learns, the definition of a man that he gets from me. That's what he's going to be interpreting, inclusive of one or two things he has picked in school. So a male child needs that. It's time to talk to the male child.
Yeah.
Time to talk. But more importantly, let's talk to them.
Talk to them.
And explain to them.
I'll raise you that.
Yeah.
And show you this. This was 2021.
Okay.
Just before my dad passed, my son was going to turn 11, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2011. In 2021, 10. He was going to turn 10.
Okay.
And of course, everybody was at home. Yeah, and we're watching. Say Yes to the Dress. Him and his sister are very close. So they are very close. They're always carrying. So this particular thing was so shocking to us. And then on Say Yes to the Dress, a brother was helping a sister, pick out her wedding dress.
Okay.
And I turn and say, "Oh, Jala, you're going to do that for Erife?" And he said, "No." As in, I'm like, I don't understand. It's Erife. I said, yeah, it's Erife. You people like her more than me now.
Oh.
You people, and then he went in, you people like her more than me now. She's going to do better than me anyways. She's Emmanuel. Initially my husband was like, he's just being, and then no, he's not just being a boy. And I pulled him. I said, okay, talk me through why you think we prefer your sister to you. So, and then 30 minutes, Emmanuel, 30 minutes, this blessed boy was speaking and crying. And my son is very, very emotional, very sensitive, very logical, but he's very sensitive. The touch thing, I don't like touch. I don't like it. Don't touch me. I don't like I sincerely don't like it. I don't. Some people have said to me, say, change your gender. I don't like touch. I don't touch me. But my son, he has to be. In fact, both of them. My daughter wakes up in the morning, and as she's waking up, she's coming straight to me to get a good morning. You have woken up hug. That's what she goes in, and then she's there for. And okay, it's not just a quick one. She just goes there and then
therapeutic, needing.
She's there for. I'm like, God, what punishment are you giving to me now? Like, okay, is this because I'm
take
a
it
life
in, take
coach
it in,
now?
take it in.
Is that what you're doing to me now? So that and then I began to, if they don't hug me now,
you don't have withdrawal symptoms.
You get. I'm not like, it is important for us to validate, especially the boy child.
I totally agree with you. Totally.
It is important for us to validate. Femi said in the last episode, my guest on the last Femi Jubal, last episode, he said that I of course in some cases the mother also has to step in as a father. But if there is a man, a father, or an authority figure in a boy's life, that is the mirror to that boy.
Totally.
That's the
totally
mirror to
agree.
that boy. And it leads me to this nature nurture or allegory that we are always using in psychology. It says two men, one was a drunkard, the other wouldn't touch a drink. Oh, the drunkard, why do you drink? Oh, I saw my father drink.
Yeah.
And they ask the one that doesn't touch a drink, oh, I saw my father drink and I'm not touching a drink. The same experience, the same experience, and they're still very different. So it's just in one sentence, how then can we build this healthy, positive masculinity? I have a story I want to share with you that I want your opinion on. But in one sentence, what should we be doing?
Be the healthy, positive man.
Okay.
Be it. Just be it. Do everything. Remind yourself. Be that positive, healthy. Or like some people would say, picture your child as you. Would you be comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's my rule.
Just picture. Will you be comfortable? If not, change it.
Change it.
Change
it. Please say that again.
Change.
Picture. Let's start from the picture part.
Picture your child as if it were you. Do you like what you see? If you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, change it.
Okay, so the last part of our conversation today, I'm going to read a story, not a story, a mini blog that I saw on Facebook. His name is Adedayo Dedu. He's a thought leader. Is also a leading journalist in Ocean State.
Okay.
So this he wrote in May. I had to save it. I hope I get him on the show someday, and I'll have this conversation. But I want to share with you, and let me hear your thoughts. And this is what he says: I think women in relationships and marriage enjoy more liberty to speak as they like than the men. Let's consider some scenarios. 1, you go to a barber shop to get a haircut. As you step into your house, your woman looks at you and erupts in laughter. You ask what is wrong, and she says, "The shade, you didn't check the mirror, ni. The style looks weird." You both laugh about it and move on. Oh yeah, flip the script. She returns from the salon and you do something precisely like this. Just imagine it. Number 2, you get dressed in the morning in the manner that you prefer to appear that day. One look at you and she goes, why are you dressed like this? You look really funny. Should you not have worn XYZ? Oh yeah, flip the script again. And Nico flip it there. And then he said it's the third one. You spend your own money to buy something for yourself. And the first thing she would say will be something like, how can you waste so much money on something you could get for ABC Naira in blah, blah, blah market? Again, say that to a woman. Let's hear what she'll say. And then the final one he shares, you return home very tired and ended up snoring heavily at night. Of course, you didn't know. But you woke up the next morning to find her sleeping very far away from you. You inquire and she goes, you were just disturbing the whole neighborhood with your snores. Again, flip the script. I think women give very little care to the sensitivity when addressing the men in their lives, at least way less than they expect the men in their lives to give. He's supposed to be dead to his emotions while hers are allowed to run wild. Not a problem at all, but there is a way it gets more interesting. Once he is done training his emotions to not be very responsive, trouble starts the day she expects him to react emotionally to an issue, but he finds nothing emotional about it. Lugun by day. So, though he puts there, this post is not inspired by feminism or patriarchy. I don't subscribe to any of those petty perspectives. Life is a mixture of responses to changing situations, so I do not think such static conditioning of the mind does any favor. What are your thoughts?
I think it's all capturing. It's all capturing. So I like giving backstories. So one of these days I just came back, or I was just coming back from somewhere a long time ago, and I said, Lord, I want to surprise my wife. Let me buy foodstuff. I mean, it's not expected. I mean, in 100 years, she wouldn't expect me to do that. Let me just buy foodstuff and then bring it to the house. And I thought I had a good deal. It sounded that way. And then I got home, like, make it look dramatic. Like, don't just say I bought stuff. Just come in, she's just sitting, I drop the first one, bam, 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 bam. Like, expecting her to say, wow. And then the first question is, how much? And then I tell her the amount. And the way she kept her face, I just realized I have messed up. Seriously. She tried to hide it, but she couldn't help it. She just let it out. They cheated you. That was the last. I can't remember. Me and market, we don't, whether it's grocery shopping, we don't do any of that. We are not related. We don't plan to be related. I still recall a particular time when she gave birth to my second son. I said, let me just try something different. So I made yam pepper soup. First yam pepper soup I've ever made in my life. The devil was on duty, obviously. Devil had pushed small salt. I put small salt. Devil just pushed my hand a bit. the thing just poured, and then she took it and said, this is salty. That's the last one I ever made. Feed whatever you want to see. Feed it. What you want to see in your man, feed it. What you don't want to see, kill it, starve it. That's the summary. You feed or you starve. If you want to see, feed. If you don't want to see, starve it. But it's been established. Men have it's just like women. Same thing with women, right? To think that there's no, permit me, my two hands up, masculine side to woman is not to know a woman, right? Yeah. Do we have to wait until a situation allows itself to show you who the woman is, or do we start calling up that aspect from time to time, knowing fully well that we require, even as a man, to operate on a day-to-day basis? I'm trying to flip the script to give you an idea. So, true life story. This masculine friend, when I mean masculine, every way masculine as described by society, marries this extremely feminine lady, very feminine lady, like I went to federal government college. Now we call them pepperless.
Okay.
You know that kind of stuff.
I know what pepperless.
Yeah, like can't touch, lift touch, can't touch a puddle and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so this guy is sick, goes to the hospital, had some injury, an accident, and thereabout, and something not interesting, something that ordinarily shouldn't happen. The hospital caught fire. Ooh. Real life. This is no story. Ooh. And then people are panicking, flying from all those. And this very masculine man is heavy. When I mean heavy. Like, very, very heavy guy. Yeah. And so from the picture I've painted, the lady, very slim kind of lady. The way the guy described it, he said it in pidgin English. Mm-hmm. We nearly laughed. He said the only thing you just discovered that by the time he opened his eyes, he was seeing downfall, he was seeing buses, he was seeing cars passing.
His wife had carried him.
Story building. Where he's saying the story building, the room, they kept him in the hospital. The woman picked him from the bed, went down the stairs, and took him to the road. That slim, pepperless, there's a masculine side to every woman, just like there's a feminine side to every man. You feed it, you get what you want. You starve it, you don't get what you want. It's as easy as that.
So how long do you think we've been speaking?
I wouldn't know.
56 minutes.
Wow.
I told you.
Is that masculine or feminine?
I know. But thank you very much. So if we're going to round this off now with everything I've said, what would you be saying?
I'll read up something. I think that pretty much captures it. Dear man, doesn't have to get to that suicide level. And when you commit suicide, is not whether you're falling off a bridge or there's nothing classy about where it was done. Yes, it was done. Don't die instrumentally, right? I know it's a famous saying. Yeah, very, very famous saying. Something must to kill a man, but you can also sometimes choose how you choose to die. Don't just die useless death. Ask for help when you need it. Show vulnerability. Show vulnerability when you need to show it. Express all the wide range of emotions: sadness, fear, shame, kindness, tenderness, just like you would anger, jealousy, lust, and the likes. Develop healthy relationship skills. Effective communication is not weakness, right? And then above all, call out other men who engage in disrespectful behavior in the name of trying to take you out of being a feminine man, as it were. Be the man. Be the man.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. So we have had Emmanuel Bright-Effiong.
It's a pleasure.
In the studio. Imagination. So if you've seen me in some bespoke, I wore one for my father's memorial, white and black. Irene has taken it.
Just call the out on that.
No, she's used to it.
Oh, okay.
So he makes it bespoke and customized to you. So check him out. Gracias. Imagination. It is it's not imagination. Imagination.
Emmagination. Imagination. The God that gives ideas is with us.
Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't. It never occurred to me.
This popcorn is making sense, though.
And that's how we're going to say why it eats is popcorn. Remember to check the show notes for links and how to support Mindfully with Tumiche. And of course, you can get several kinds of podcasts on the Nigerian. There's the Niger Pop. Could I get that correctly now? That's the Niger Pop Hub. Niger Pod Hub. You can get lots of different kinds of podcasts from there. Okay, pick a copy of Living Mindfully, A Journey to Being by my humble self. And I end this conversation with love yourself, love your neighbor, love your country. Above all of this, love God. He is the essence of your being. Until next time, please be kind to yourself.